Ben Ratner is one of them. He lives in East Palestine. He owns a business about a half an hour east of town, and he is with us once again this morning. Ben, it's nice to see you again. The last time you and I spoke, you were quite emotional about everything that you and your family and your kids are dealing with. How are you feeling this morning?
I feel like I have a little better control over things. It was really kind of a raw moment seeing the footage and things like that, just kind of coming together last time. I think things are a lot more complex. It's not any easier than it was. There's a lot of things that are being found out as we go along, as far as more chemicals and then the byproducts of those chemicals burning, the fact that there wasn't soil sampling done until the 12th. There's a lot to be said for our state's response and how that impacted the federal response.
Mm-hmm. Talk about some of the complexities. What are the biggest questions that you want answered right now?
I think it's good that there's been third-party independent research happening. There's been Johns Hopkins people putting out information as far as air sampling needs to be done instead of air monitoring. I think that's good information. It just, now that there has been the air sampling, Texas A&M and Purdue came in and found non-chemicals still in the air, one of which at potentially cancer-causing levels. It's hard to really unpack. And also, I mean, literally and physically, we want to stay there. And it's kind of this push-pull of, safe one day, not feeling safe the other day, not getting continual updates until 2 days ago. They started doing regular press briefings at 4 p.m. So it's something we're almost a month into this. And if there had been this level of attention early on, I think we'd be in a different place than where we are right now.
Describe your level of trust in the information that you're receiving now and throughout, how it compares to the beginning and what you're being told at this point.
I think the information we're getting now is better. I still feel like it depends on where the information is coming from. Early on in these situations, just historically, the person or entity at fault is generally the person controlling the narrative early on. They're most familiar with the situation and the products that they were carrying. And in our case, in Ohio, new EPA director, there's an article now from the Lever, really talks about the ties to the railroad company with our state government and how it's hard to really think how that couldn't impact the lackluster performance thereafter, still not declaring it a disaster area. Meanwhile, the governor of Pennsylvania has submitted charges to his attorney general for review in Norfolk Southern for just gross negligence. And I don't know why Ohio hasn't done that yet.
Right. There are a lot of people involved in lawsuits against Norfolk Southern. I spoke with an attorney representing clients last week. Are you part of some of these lawsuits, Ben, at this point?
We've been researching a few of them. We haven't been a part of one in particular. There's a lot I'm learning as far as the way that these meetings and information meetings are set up, that we really have to be reaching out to them ourselves and getting information from the attorneys directly. There's only so much that they can tell us ahead of time just to come out and talk. There's many different people out there trying not to sign up with an ambulance chaser, so we want to sign up with somebody who's reputable and can represent us well. So we're just trying to take our time for that decision. I know the clock is ticking, but I believe we have a little bit of time still.
And how about Norfolk Southern? Have they reached out to you? They've asked people to sign things as well. Have they been testing on the property? Where does that stand at your home and also your business?
Yeah, we did get our VOCs tested before we went home. Something I found recently is results about particulate matter. It's like PM 2.5, and there's multiple locations that showed levels above screening level that came out on the 8th to the 9th, and that's whenever they told us to go home. So that's something that's a little bit alarming about the particulate matter. We did have our home VOCs tested, and so we changed our air filters. We cleaned a lot of things with like diluted bleach and Dawn is what they told us. We're just under a mile out. There's people that are a lot closer that I feel like maybe homes took on smoke, and they're not getting a lot of guidance as far as taking things out of their homes, what to do with them after they get them out. And so there's still a lot, like that's why I'm saying it's complex. There's still a lot to unpack here as far as the direction the town's going to go, what people are going to get cleaned up, how this is actually going to get cleaned up. So,
well, and I wonder, as I look at pictures of your kids in our previous discussion, what questions they're asking you. What are you telling your kids right now? I know they missed a lot of school because of this. They probably are quite curious about all these new people in town and exactly what's happening. What do you say to them?
Especially after living through COVID, I'm sure their worlds have been turned upside down twice now. And we have a daughter who played basketball. The season's over, but their first tournament game was canceled because the team forfeited. They didn't want to come to East Palestine to play, so they missed out on an opportunity to play there. I know several of our local youth teams have had issues getting people to go play, and really our school's been professionally cleaned. It's upwind from the site, and I trust that our school officials would not have people in there unless it was safe. And so that's a negative side effect of people really that not coming to the town that could really have a impact going forward.
Yeah, no, it's the long-term risks that has everybody concerned, you more than any, living there with your family. Ben, thanks for always being generous with your time. It's good to talk to you again. We'll talk again soon. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.